Good day, grade 4 pupils. You are now listening to our first ever School on Air program. I am your radio teacher, Danica, from Santa Lucia Elementary School. I am glad to be with you through the airwaves. Today, you are about to learn a new topic in Science 4. Few reminders before we begin with our lesson. Make sure that you settle down and seated comfortably. Close your eyes and do breathing exercise. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. The weather is so fine. Let us embrace the positivity and let go all the negativity. Quite relaxing and refreshing, right? Today is another day to be grateful and to be joyful. Dear learners, are you ready? Before we start, please get your Science 4 module, a pen, and your notebook. Open your Science module. Let us answer the pretest that I asked you to answer last meeting. The answers are found at the last page of Module 1. Open your modules to looking back at the lesson on page 5. Study the illustration below and answer the questions that follows. List down the objects found in the illustration in your notebook. I hope you can still remember these terms. This will help you to understand further our topic for today. Now, are you excited to learn something new? We are about to start in a few seconds. If you need to go to the comfort room or have a sip of water, you may do it now. The topic today is physical properties of matter. Again, I am teacher Danica. Let us begin. Physical properties are the way substances look or act. For example, whether an object absorbs liquid, floats, or sinks in water is a physical property. You can group them based on their ability to absorb water, float, sink, and even decay. Some solids can float or sink. To float means to stay on the surface of water. Sink means to go below the surface of the water, half submerged, or at the bottom. Examples of solid materials that float are wood, balloons, and volleyball ball. Examples of materials that sink are notebook, coin, and key. Several factors affect the sinking or floating of objects. First is density. Density is the degree of compactness of an object. Materials with a density less than that of a liquid float, and materials with a greater density than the liquid sink. For example, ice is less dense than liquid water. That is why an iceberg floats. Second is buoyancy. Buoyancy is the ability of objects to float in liquid. Gravity pulls an object down, but buoyancy pulls the water up. If the material's weight is less than the buoyant force acting on it, then the object floats. If an object's weight is greater than the buoyant force acting on it, then the object sinks. Third is what the material it is made of. Objects made of plastics usually float. Objects made of steel or metals usually sink. Fourth is the weight of an object. Generally, light objects float. Heavy objects sink. Other factors are the shape or form of an object and the type of liquid. Solid materials undergo decay, but some do not. A material can be destroyed slowly into bits with the presence of water, air, and soil. This process is called decay. Examples of materials that decay are fruits, vegetables, food, and paper products. Materials made of synthetic materials or materials made by human through chemical synthesis like plastics, glass, and styrofoam do not decay. Good job, learners! Now, you are ready to answer the activities on your module. But before that, let's have a brief recap on what you have learned today. Let's do the recap. Some solids have the ability to float or sink and decay. There are several factors affect the sinking, floating, and decaying of objects. First, density. Density is the degree of compactness of an object. Second is buoyancy. Buoyancy is the ability of objects to float in liquid. Third, what the material it is made of. Objects made of plastics usually float. Objects made of steel or metals usually sink. Fourth is the weight of an object. A material can be destroyed slowly into bits with the presence of water, air, and soil. This process is called decay. Examples of materials that decay are fruits, vegetables, food, and paper products. Materials made of synthetic materials or materials made by humans through chemical synthesis like plastics, glass, and styrofoam do not decay. Congratulations! That is the end of our lesson today. I hope that you have learned a lot about physical properties of matter. On your self-learning module, remember to answer activities 1 and 2. You may ask help to your parents or guardian in answering the exercises. Also, read about Lesson 2 of your Science 4 module. Again, this is your teacher Danica. Be happy and have fun learning.